Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. Beautiful Saturday morning, and you know what? Here in the lower Michigan area, and I would imagine up north even further, there is an unmistakable hint of fall in the air this morning. I know what you're saying. We're not even to mid-August yet, but I got to call it like I see it. 50 upper degrees or upper 50s last night overnight. Geese are moving. The cicadas are kicking it out. The fireflies are dying down. I tell you what, it feels early this year. So I'm not complaining, mind you, because, you guys know me. I like it a little bit cooler. But a lot of stuff going on in and around Midland, at least, lots of places actually this weekend. So it's a great weekend to get out and enjoy yourself with the temps not too awful darn hot, and the weather's nice for the time being after the little bit of rain we had. Get to a little of those activities here in a second or two. Let's say some good mornings. Man, there's a lot of you saying good morning this morning. So heck, let's see who's out there. Jennifer, good morning. I am doing well. Thank you very much. Hope the same for you guys as well. Gary saying good morning. Ev and Gary saying good morning to you guys. Thank you very much for watching as always. Jim saying good morning, and good morning to you, sir. Chuck also. Chuck, I did find that Yardbirds we talked about, so I do have that set aside for you whenever you want. Karen, hey Karen, happy Saturday to you as well as Sean checking in. Prince, and there you go, sir. Betty in Toledo, happy Saturday down there to you as well. Pat, good sunshiny morning. It is, man. Oh man, it's a beautiful day out there. Chilling in Grand Rapids this AM. Rick on the west side, good morning to you, and Annie as well. And Ryan, hey to you as well, sir. So lots of stuff, as I mentioned, going on in and around Midland this weekend. Between road construction, and I am no stranger to road construction right now on the home front. Our road is torn up in front of the homestead till September-ish. And so I'm dodging all sorts of cones and construction equipment kicking out. And I tell you what, it's no fun. But there we go. Scott saying good morning to you as well as Dan way up into you. 57 degrees. Windy. Yeah, it's going to get a little windy today, but hopefully all those boats are tied down in Hessel and Cedarville this coming weekend, and I hope you guys are enjoying that. Jeff, good morning to you, sir, as well. Anyway, like I was saying, what was I saying? Holy cow, lots of stuff going on. Oh, the road construction. So we're no strangers to road construction at all. Dave, good morning to you, top of it as well. And just to kind of add to all that, the Gus Macker basketball tournament is going on adjacent to downtown Midland. Now, downtown Midland, if you guys have never been, beautiful little downtown where it's a little bit off the river. And, back several years ago, it came right up to the downtown area when we had that big flood after the dam break. But the river is beautiful, but the downtown is great. Every summer, though, they close off a couple of portions, some of the downtown blocks, like a lot of downtowns are doing nowadays, to give some recreational areas, to give the restaurants a little extra seating, to eat and enjoy the outside air. So Midland is no different than that. They do have a lot of that closed off, but they do have some thorough. So you can get through to the Tridge, you can get through some of the other stuff and still get to the businesses accessible enough in that downtown area. But now the Gus Macker tournament comes in and they close off yet even more of those downtown streets. It's still passable, mind you. It's just going to be between the tournament going on and the parking normally on the weekend. It's just going to be a little tougher to navigate. We're immune from that up here. We're a little bit further away, although we're close enough to park to some of the downtown events if anybody really needs or wants to. We had a friend of ours call up last night and ask if she could park here to go to a Loons game. We said, yeah, go for it. What the heck? So we're not that far away. But yeah, the Macker is going on, and they are sealing off some of the stuff on the eastern side of the downtown, near the hardware store and near Loons Stadium. The Loons Stadium and through there. So beware, just beware. Now, on top of that, not yet this weekend, but next weekend in full blown, but starting on Sunday, the Midland County Fair kicks off out on the north side of town. Sunday is their day when they just the midway is not running, but you can get out there and walk around, see some of the exhibits as they're setting up. And then the fair kicks in full on Monday and goes through next weekend. So, as I said, lots of stuff going on. No reason to not get out and enjoy yourself today. Now I say sunshine, but now I see clouds rolling in. So I'm not sure what's going on. I should have looked at the forecast before I said sunny Sunday morning. Good day, Ken, on the other side of the planet. Thank you for tuning in as always. Good, sir. Release wise, let's talk a little bit about, this is a record store and updates. I'm not a community events calendar or weather forecaster by any means. We're here to talk about music and records. So let's do a little of that, but there's not, and that's just it. A little of that is what I'm saying today. Not a lot on the new release front yesterday that we brought in that is still available here in the store. Really kind of working on getting you guys to work on the pre-orders to let us know ahead of time what you want, so we make sure we get them. So I did put that list up for this next week's releases on our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. Check that out. And some of the socials, you can find links to that as well. But we'll have that new release show coming up today. There's another big one. Oh, yeah, there is a big one I wanted to mention, and I don't have a graphic called up for it, but we'll cover that later this afternoon in the new release show. But that's the brand new one from Post Malone. There's an indie exclusive scheduled for next week. So later this afternoon, check out our channel and the Facebook page for the upcoming releases show. I'll have all the details on that that release coming up from Post Malone, as well as a couple of other ones for the next week. So check that one out. So this week, what we do have in stock, and I can get more of these as well. Actually, pretty excited about this one. This is a fun one. This is the Smashing Pumpkins. It's called Rotten Apples, their greatest hits. So it's a greatest hits compilation from the Smashing Pumpkins. This has been released before, but never on vinyl. So this is the first time on vinyl. Double LP. I don't believe there's anything special other than it's a 180 gram. So it's on black vinyl. Lots of great stuff on here, and it's a greatest hits. It flies through the Rhinoceros, Drown, Cherub Rock, Today, Bullet with Butterfly Wings, of course, 1979 is on here. Stand Inside Your Love, Real Love, lots of great stuff. And if you've not checked out our podcast, the one I do with Steve Carlson, our Vinyl Community podcast, we actually talked about greatest hits albums last week, and this would have been on there. So for those of you who don't want to attempt to seek out individual Smashing Pumpkins albums, which original or reissue is tremendously pricey, greatest hits are the way to go. I think I've got 3 copies of this, more coming next week if those run out over the weekend, but some great stuff from the Smashing Pumpkins for your Saturday. All right, these are cool. I have not opened copies of them for quality control. I'm waiting to see if we need them in stock first, but here we have the reissues from Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson of Rush. They're solo reissues. Let me get the, that's for the thumbnail. We're supposed to do good YouTube thumbnails, you know. Geddy Lee's My Favorite Headache and Alex Lifeson's Victor. Now, Victor, this is the first time on vinyl legit for Victor. This was originally released in 1996 by Alex Lifeson, guitarist for Rush, as I mentioned. And it has been bootlegged a few times here and there, but on vinyl now for the first time official. It's double LP. They split this up a little bit, and side 4 has got some bonus tracks on there. Haven't listened to this in many years, so I will get a copy of my own copy of this next week, and we'll get this. Now, the Geddy Lee one, originally released in 2000, solo, My Favorite Headache. This one has been on vinyl before, but only once, and it was a Record Store Day release, I think a year, maybe 2 years ago. So that was on black vinyl. So that's okay. It's a Record Store Day release, super limited on black vinyl. And there was some question when these were released whether they were going to be colored vinyl or not. They are on colored vinyl. This is the only pressing that we could find. It was available on the Rush website. I think we've got the same as that. The Geddy Lee, My Favorite Headache, is on blue and green vinyl, double LP, 1 blue, 1 green. And Alex Lifeson's Victor is on double crystal clear vinyl. Again, I've not opened these up yet. We'll see if these last the weekend. And if they do, I'll open one up because I do have more coming next week. But if you're a Rush fan, I haven't listened to Lifeson in a long time, but it's good stuff as I remember. The Geddy Lee I listen to a lot. It's essentially a Rush album, because Getty is singing, but it's without Alex and it's of course without Neil. So you're missing that songwriting, but it's still some great stuff from each of those artists. One copy each of those left in stock for the weekend, but again, I can get more for next week. Speaking of stuff that has not been available on vinyl for quite some time, Firehouse, actually never. I think this is the first official US pressing. There has been bootlegs of this, and I believe there was an original European. I have to go back and think. But this is the first official pressing of the Firehouse, self-titled Metal Greatness from 1990. Smoke and Fire colored vinyl pressing on this. So check that out. I got a couple of these left in stock, and I think we can get more as needed. And then finally, not so much a new issue from last week, excuse me, as just restocked on them because this was super popular. We went through all of our copies, and I do have, I think, three left right now, maybe a couple more. These have been on back order, so I think when they go, this version of the Deadpool and Wolverine soundtrack with the colored vinyl, a double colored vinyl, is going to be gone. They may do a repress in time for Christmas, but if you are thinking about getting it, grab one of these before they're tougher to get as we go forward. So, okay, let's see here. A couple more. Tracy saying good morning. Hey there, sir. And Dan chiming in on a Smashing Pumpkins. We'll take care of you, sir. We'll get you one set aside for you. Okay, so looking at the time, it's not too bad. It has been, like I said, kind of quiet throughout this weekend on the podcast. Steve and I, it's kind of up in the air. We'll do a potpourri subject, but my days off on Monday and Tuesday, I tortured myself. I went to a couple of antique malls just to see what I could find vinyl-wise. I left with some, but I left it's maddening. It's frustrating. And that's just me speaking as a record collector guy to see what some of these antique malls are doing. So Steve and I are going to get into it on the podcast Sunday. I'm going to vent a little bit regarding antique mall vinyl prices and show some of what I found this past weekend. So don't forget that. It's called Two Guys Talking About Records, a vinyl community podcast. I even have a graphic. That uploads a new episode every Sunday evening, right around 7 p.m. or so, both on our YouTube channel here and on Spotify, on Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast from is a great place to do that. So look for that. And then also don't forget, as I said, to check out our new release show, usually about 3 o'clock, maybe a little bit later on Saturday afternoons by the time. It depends on how busy we are at the store, because I try to cut that video and edit it on Saturday so it's current and up to date. But I'll have that new release show up a little bit later on this afternoon. And then, as I said, when we started off with all of the activities going on and just a little bit of chill and wind in the air, feels like fall is getting here. And you know what that means. Oh, man, Record Store Day, Black Friday. I hate to say that it's around the corner, but the quicker we move through the month of August and into September, it feels like it's going to be. So I'll go back through our records and find out when, because ultimately I know I will start getting questions about the list. When does the list come out? So we'll have a gauge and an estimate as far as when I think that might be. But I hate to say that it's coming quickly, but you guys can feel it too. It is coming quickly. So, all right, that is it. I am going to go get the turntable spinning. The door is opened up and get on with our Saturday. If you're heading into Midland for any of the activities this weekend, stop by the store. We're not too far off of the downtown area. 716 George Street, a little bit north of downtown. Open today, Saturday, from, now until about 6 p.m. Till 6 p.m. I'll be here. And then tomorrow, Sunday, 12 noon until 4 p.m. Next week, normal hours, but stay tuned. I've got some vacation time coming up the week after, but not to worry about that for this weekend or next weekend, but I'll fill you guys in on next Saturday's live update as far as what that means. All right, folks, you have a great week. Get out, enjoy yourself, spin some cool vinyl. In the interim, when you're done enjoying yourself outside, unless you got a portable turntable, then do both. Anyway, you folks have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next week from Radio Wasteland Records. As always, thank you so much for being here.